Did Terence Crawford, did he put belt to ass? I told y'all. Terence Bud Crawford, the baddest man on the planet.
The world watched in disbelief as Terence Crawford, a man labeled too small and overly ambitious, delivered a remarkable performance. For legendary trainer Teddy Atlas and former champion Timothy Bradley Jr., the surprising decline of Canelo Alvarez was predictable. They had been predicting it for months, a story that unfolded long before the first bell rang. The narrative leading into this super fight was almost unbelievable. Terence "Bud" Crawford, the pound-for-pound king from a lighter division, was making a bold jump, moving up 2 weight classes to challenge super middleweight titan Canelo Alvarez. Many thought it was an impossible task. Questions filled the air. Could Crawford's power carry? Could he withstand the punishing body shots from a naturally bigger and stronger man like Canelo? The general agreement was clear. Crawford was a fantastic fighter, but against Canelo, size and strength would rule the match. Everything suggested another dominant Canelo performance, another win to add to his legendary resume. However, behind the scenes, another conversation was happening, one that focused less on muscle and weight and more on something fundamental: speed.
Okay, we talking about the weight classes. Everybody was saying, Tim, are you concerned about the weight? I'm like, I'm not concerned about the weight because I know Crawford. He's in the gym year-round. He weighs 175, 180 pounds, and he's sparring. He's going 12, 15 rounds. He's helping all the others around him and building them. So, like, I can see if he's coming off the couch. You know, he knew what he can do before he even got in his ring. He said, Canelo can't beat me, Tim. He was like, he's too slow. I watched and I studied him. At first, I didn't think it was possible. But then, as I studied him, and I realized certain things that he did that I can take advantage of, he said, easy work, Tim. I'm going to get it done. I promise you. And I said, all right. And you saw it tonight.
Long before the fighters stepped into the ring, Teddy Atlas provided the strategy for Canelo's fall. On his podcast, he rejected the popular belief that Crawford was too small. He stood firm, just as he had when the fight was merely a rumor. Atlas's reasoning was sharp, drawing from a deep understanding of boxing history, particularly Canelo's past. He referenced Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather, a defeat that seemed far away but held significance. It wasn't that Canelo's hands couldn't keep up against Mayweather, it was his feet that struggled. He couldn't close the gap or position himself to land his powerful punches. Atlas identified that same vulnerability, ready for exploitation again. He predicted Canelo would look for his signature left hook to the liver, a shot aimed at crippling the smaller man and reducing his mobility. But Atlas posed an essential question. How could you land that shot if you can't get in position against a faster, smarter opponent? He thought Canelo was no longer the active fighter he used to be, that he was too selective with his shots. Against a ghost like Crawford, that selective offense would be his downfall. Many heard this prophecy, but few truly believed it.
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory, in a test tube, because that was science. That was pure science. No two ways about it. And again, I've been calling Crawford since this fight was made, when it was talked about, when Crawford was even a bigger underdog. And I just got tired of everybody saying, oh, he's too big. What about the other guy being too quick, too fast? And I said from the beginning that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight.
While Atlas dissected the tactics, Timothy Bradley Jr. offered a deeply personal perspective. He had gone toe-to-toe with Crawford. He recalled sparring sessions from 2011, where he saw Crawford's remarkable mental toughness firsthand. Bradley believed that 75% of boxing is mental, and in that realm, Crawford was unbeatable. His confidence was infectious, spreading to those around him. He talked about Crawford's father, who dismissed any worries about a size disadvantage, stating that his son had the skill and determination to seize all the belts, regardless of weight. It wasn't arrogance. It was a fact from a fighter who had visualized the outcome. Bradley projected this supreme confidence to the world, telling everyone that a historic moment was on its way to redefine the sport.
Drove him to the gym, got out, had his bag still in the car, put his wraps on, nobody with him. Think about that. No one with him. Gets in the ring, says hello, in the corner by himself. By himself. I had my whole team around me.
And you're a world champion.
And I'm a 2-time world champion. Think about that, right? No one giving him any instructions. He come in there, pick me to pieces.
And nobody knows who he is
right?
at the time, for the most part.
No, nobody knew who he was, right? Pick me to pieces.
You found out who he
So
was
then,
pretty
right,
quick.
okay, the next day, all right, we spar again. Completely different fighter. This guy can handle anything. Mentally, he can handle any situation out there.
Then, fight night arrived, and the prophecy began to unfold. From the start, it was clear this was not the Canelo show everyone anticipated. Crawford, operating entirely from the southpaw stance, presented a puzzle Canelo couldn't solve. He boxed beautifully, using his reach and footwork to control the ring, just as Atlas had foretold. The first few rounds were cautious, but by the fourth, Crawford unleashed fast combinations that went unanswered. Then, in the sixth round, a pivotal moment emerged. Crawford landed a massive left hand that stunned Canelo, causing noticeable swelling under his right eye. From that moment, Crawford entered a different zone. He started showboating, appearing completely at ease, a master at work. Canelo looked frustrated, his feet seemed stuck, and his powerful shots missed their targets. The fight went the full 12 rounds, but the result was never in doubt. The judges' scorecards confirmed what the world had witnessed, a unanimous decision for Terence Crawford. A new champion was crowned in a stunning manner. In the immediate aftermath, analysis flooded the airwaves, but none was more impactful than Teddy Atlas's. He was amazed, jokingly suggesting Crawford was born and made in a laboratory. He reinforced his pre-fight analysis, quoting Muhammad Ali, "Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see." He stated that Crawford's vision in the ring was like infrared, enabling him to anticipate actions before they occurred.
Physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, just radar. This guy's got infrared. I said it yesterday when I was doing a thing with Stephen A. They said, what's the biggest difference? I said, the biggest difference, remember the first time you were watching TV, regular TV, and the first time you saw 3D? You say, wow,
yeah.
3D, wow, that's different. That's better. That's this guy. He's 3D. The other guy's old-fashioned black and white TV.
When asked about a potential rematch, Atlas dismissed the idea. He painted a vivid picture of the fight, illustrating Crawford's dominance. He argued that Canelo's trainers should have devised a better plan to counter Crawford's jab and reach, but it wouldn't have changed anything. Crawford was simply one of the most instinctual fighters he had ever seen, so talented that no strategy could contain him. Simultaneously, Timothy Bradley Jr. celebrated his "I told you so" moment. He was thrilled, not only because he was right, but also because he had witnessed what he called one of the greatest performances of all time. He declared Crawford the baddest man on the planet, and without hesitation, the best fighter of this generation.
Canelo, it became a fight where Crawford made it where Canelo, to have any chance, he had to go get close. So he had to go through a bad neighborhood.
Yep.
And Crawford mugged him. It's that simple. He had to go through a bad neighborhood to get anything done, to get to the place that something was going to be done good.
Yeah.
And he got mugged going through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Bradley admired Crawford's journey, returning after a year away from the ring, after shoulder surgery, and jumping up 2 weight classes to deliver such an exceptional performance. He praised Crawford's loyalty to his small team of 5 trainers, a rarity in boxing.
A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on the shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yep.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew what was coming. Look, so the issue with Canelo tonight was his feet were too slow. All right. He was looking for looping shots. He didn't throw enough punches at all. Couldn't get his jab established at all. And when you can't get your jab established, it's hard to land your power shots. He was looking to time Crawford. Crawford had the longer reach. He was keeping him at bay, and over the course of Canelo's career, especially the back end, he's got accustomed to fighting a certain style. Keeping his hands up high, walking forward, and Crawford made him pay for that. And Crawford knew exactly what he was doing. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're going to take a walk? That's fine. Eat this jab. Not allowing Canelo just to relax. So, look, spectacular performance by Crawford. Canelo, I think this is it for him, to be honest with you. I think this is the tail of his career. If he fought Crawford again, I think it'd be worse the second time.
However, Bradley also commended Canelo for how he accepted the defeat. There were no excuses. Canelo admitted he lost to the better fighter and praised Crawford for his skill. For Bradley, it was a moment of total vindication, and he had a message for the doubters. It was time to apologize and embrace greatness. The impact of that night shook the boxing world, changing the legacies of two all-time greats. For Terence Crawford, this was a crowning achievement. He accomplished the unprecedented feat of becoming the first male boxer in the four-belt era to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes. The victory propelled him to the top, with many, including Teddy Atlas and Tim Bradley, naming him the new #1 pound-for-pound fighter. For Canelo, however, the loss marked the start of an uncertain chapter. The invincible aura was gone, replaced by questions about his future and his place among Mexican boxing legends. The king had been toppled, and the sports landscape shifted overnight. In the end, Canelo Alvarez's unexpected loss was not a mere upset. It was a testament to clear foresight.
For me, the thing that bothered me, there's only one thing that really did bother me, and that's why I don't want a rematch, I'll be honest. I've been in this business 50 years, too long to fool myself. Those judges should be really, they got to look in the mirror to have it that close. There's no way it was that close. Thank God he dominated. Because otherwise we might be here talking a whole different thing and really going nuts. And I would definitely break this thing.
Yes, you would. I believe you.
And maybe that. And I'd owe money. And I couldn't care. I would pay it. But at the end of the day, that's why I don't want to see it again. He dominated, and the judges had it that close.
Yeah.
Give the judges another shot at it. Forget about the fighters. I don't want to give the judges another shot at it.
Teddy Atlas and Timothy Bradley Jr. were not just responding to an unexpected outcome, they were witnessing a conclusion they had anticipated. They recognized the subtle flaws in Canelo's game, the slowing feet, the dependence on power, and they saw the exceptional talent in Terence Crawford, the footwork, the intelligence, the unwavering self-belief. What the world saw as a shocking upset, they viewed as a strategic showcase that revealed vulnerabilities visible all along. It was a night that demonstrated that in boxing, mental speed can outmatch physical power, leaving us to wonder what lies ahead for the new king who has achieved it all and the old lion contemplating his legacy. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.